Okay, so Hasan, he's always want to be in the spotlight. So Team Pool he has a video out there regarding this.
One of the most prominent leftist streamers has joined the LA riots. Okay, I don't know that he's actually rioting. I've not seen any of that. Some people are accusing him of having done that. His statements and why he's there is because he wants to present the perspective of the protesters, the rioters. Now, not literally everybody is rioting, so I'm not entirely sure exactly what Hasan is involved in, but this is a riot and not a protest. But I'm going to stress this because I think the nuance is important. I don't believe that Hasan engaged in any untoward activity. I also don't think...
Well, he's just there for, the clout and feeding all this information for his followers. I guess he's getting money from, whatever stupid things that he does. So he keeps continue doing it,
think it matters in the big picture. Well, I certainly don't think he should get in any kind of trouble or be arrested. And I think it's actually impressive that Hasan has gone down there himself to document this, despite the fact that I disagree with him on his views. I do respect it. Very few people are actually going on the ground and documenting, live streaming these things anymore. I think ultimately it's a good thing. Well, the dude is probably the dude is literally biased, and he's going to show you what he wants to show you.
He is.
Still going to give you an opportunity to see what's happening on the ground. I wouldn't...
My kid, he's almost 18 now, and he's been following all of this, Hasan Piker and all that, Asmon Gold, all those YouTubers and Twitch, live streamers and all that. And, my son actually brought this guy name up, and he asked me if I should, kind of watch his videos and see what I think about it. And I told him that kind of, I'm not going to waste my time on stupidity like Hasan's doing. That's how he makes his money.
Recommend watching it, but it is still a good source. So let me put it this way. What I mean to say is,
I am not going to watch what this is. I see and hear about Hasan from Asmon Gold or Team Pool or Decoy Voice and all of that. I don't personally go in there and watch his stupidity.
Someone asked me, Tim, where can I watch this live? I'm not going to say Hasan. That being said, it is good that he is live streaming this. It doesn't matter what he wants to portray. It matters what he will portray. And though I believe that he and his producers likely will avoid showing the rioters in a negative light, maybe they turn the camera away, they're going to catch important bits of information, and I can respect that. Now, right now, there are accusations that certain leftists and liberals want him to get arrested and are reporting him to the FBI
Wonder why.
to get arrested. Over at the Destiny subreddit, there was a post that popped up saying, report him to the FBI and to local law enforcement.
Why?
Now, apparently, the Destiny subreddit is saying it's fake news. Someone randomly posted this and then deleted it and ran away to make it seem like Destiny's fans, another prominent leftist streamer, was trying to get Hasan
Yeah, another streamer that I would never go to their site or page just to watch their stupidity. I hear about them all the time, but I don't do.
Arrested. Oh boy. The big picture here, and what I want to talk about before we get into like the actual big, grandiose Civil War type stuff, is that I don't view I view this as kind of like a C minus D tier level kind of reporting, where prominent individuals are going to try to generate attention by going to these events and joining in on them. And what I mean by joining in on them is Hasan literally says himself, he says, my goal with the UCLA student encampments was to show you how different the reality on the ground was from the way the media was framing it. The LA protests are the same. It feels chaotic from afar, but the protesters are your neighbors. The threat is ICE. The threat is...
No. If you're breaking up and vandalizing my community, you are not my neighbor.
Police. Hasan Piker is literally joining in these riots. So I want to be very careful what I'm saying. He's not himself engaging in violence or anything like that, but these have broken down into riots. He's joining them to present a narrative that the police are the bad guys. Now let's just hold on there a minute.
I mean, I know how that works, man. They're protesting, they're protest, and then they instigate, and then they do something, they cross the line, and the cops and the agents are they're kind of they have to respond to some of those people, like maybe throwing some people will throw rocks at them or bottles or something like that, and they will respond. And then when the cops respond from that, they will arrest someone, or throw tear gas on it, and that's how they take that moment to say that the cops are the bad guy for doing that, for retaliating as such an excessive force or something like that.
The real issue I
That's
take
how
with
it
this
works.
is that the police are on the side of the
Messed up is
rioters.
here.
And this is why people, they get mad at me, like Tim's not a back the blue automatically kind of guy. I can say nice things about cops. I can talk about how the narrative is also often slanted against your average cop. In LA, a blue state, okay, they're appointed by Democrats, they're run by Democrats, and they are themselves Democrats. Their worldview is very much aligned
True.
with the California
True.
narrative.
True. I can see that. I can align with the Tim Pool saying that. Yeah, because it's again, like the mayor is saying. Mayor Bass is even saying that it's all peaceful, and the cops and the force are not going to help the ICE. You know, and those cops are liberals and Democrats, so they're not going to do anything. They're with the protesters. Sure.
And many of these people, many of these officers are maybe like second or third generation illegal immigrant children. Like, let me clarify what I mean that. These are people whose parents or grandparents may be illegal immigrants. They don't want to enforce against this. Governor Newsom doesn't want to enforce against it. Mayor Bass doesn't want to enforce against it. California is on the side of non-citizens. They want them to be here. They don't want the police to interfere. So Hasan is effectively serving as there's this fake view that's being created by what he's doing. And I'm going to stress, I'll say it again. I actually respect that he's on the ground covering this. I don't agree with his worldview or his opinions. The footage will still be valuable to everybody. And I suggest those that are seeking to find evidence of certain instances or whatever may have happened, you can watch that footage.
Yeah.
If somebody asked me for live coverage, I'd say get it somewhere else. My point is, what Hasan is doing when he says it's the police, this is the narrative they want to create. The police are the bad guys. The rioters are the good guys. The police have been forced to back down. The rioters have won. Here's the reality. The police are standing down intentionally because they want the rioters to obstruct ICE and the feds. The state government of California wants as many illegal immigrants as possible. That's why they decriminalize border crossings. That's why they give free health care to illegal immigrants under 26. That's why they are a sanctuary state.
Well, that's the problem. The problem with that I can see is, I mean, they can do that. That's just in the state that most of them are, the federal grants is coming from the federal. So I like what Trump's going to do is cut off that funding. If they really want this, sanctuary state to become a sanctuary state, not sanctuary cities. If California is already a sanctuary state, we all know that they are. But if they come out and says we want the non-citizen, and a lot of citizens in California is actually against this because they're leaving California. If once they become that, and they stated that they are a sanctuary state, the funding will be cut off from the federal. And now what are they gonna do? Of course they're gonna label President Trump and the Trump administration racist for not providing anything with them to them. So yeah, but then again, the people don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want all the illegals running around, and and especially those people that coming to the United States and we don't know who they are, and also just like what the ICE arresting are the people that have the rap sheet of criminal offense. You can take a look at that.
They want them here because it boosts their congressional seat count, and then California gets a favorable amount of votes in Congress.
True.
This means it's not just about stealing presidential elections through the electoral vote count.
Yeah.
It is not just that they can pass Democrat laws like banning guns nationwide through California cheating. It is more than that. It is that they have more opportunities to benefit themselves. California is in gross violation of the Constitution. California, with its, 36? I think it's how many congressional seats, California? I think it's...
Well, I can see that on the elections. Look at the national elections when it comes to presidential elections. Time and time, I see that. President Trump, even like when it started with Obama, President Trump, first term, Joe Biden's first term, and then, the recent one, 2024. California's always been a Democrat to where, like, polls are not even close, 90%, 80%. And then they always call it to the Democrats. And, and in 2024, there was like a majority swing on all those counties to, that turned red to Republicans. So you can see it. You can see it out on the map, But then again, big cities and big counties, LA, Orange County, and all of that, San Diego County, they're all blue because they can mobilize it. They know how to mobilize, their people. They know how to count votes, I guess.
It's 36. Am I wrong? I'm probably way wrong. It's probably something bigger than that. It is 52. 52.
Dang.
Why did I think 36? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This means in Congress, where we only have, 435? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 435 members of Congress. 50 of them, about an eighth of all of these votes, are going to have to go through California. So when a member of Congress is saying, did I get my math way wrong on that one? That is an eighth, right? When the members of Congress are negotiating and saying, I want to pass this bill, California has more opportunities to cut these deals. And that's where that's absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane.
Well, with all of this going on right now, with all the Mexican flags flown around, they want to invade Mexico. I mean, California is turning back into Mexico. Just give it back to Mexico. We won't have that problem. Of course, I'm joking, but but what the California wants is like to have this. It's the state to have a federal grant and to be able to do their own thing. And that's what the California wants.
Want to be able to get preferential treatment from this. So the video that's going viral, of course, that Hasan was standing there when several flashbangs went off. I don't care too much about this. I'll show you some of the comments. One person said, respect for him being out there. Another said, not a big fan of Hasan, but his stream made me respect him quite a bit. He actually walked the talk, putting himself in a risky situation to support a cause. Got to respect that. Honestly, glad he showed up, even though I think his points...
What is so risky about just being there? What is so risky about just showing up to a protest, a bunch of crowd gathering? It's risky of like being tear gassed? Well, flashbang, according to him. He got his hair messed up with a flashbang. So, what is it? Hearing out to the life? He's a hero? Is that what it is?
Are stupid. At least putting some kind of effort into standing for what he believes in. I agree with all that. I'm going to give Hasan Piker this one. I think he's low. I think he's not very bright. I don't think he knows a lot about what he's talking about. But he does not make spam anti-Trump videos. He makes anti-Trump videos, and that's always allowed because he talks about a bunch of other subjects as well. He actually goes on the ground to support the cause he believes in. I respect that. I just think he's wrong. He's also called for violence and made veiled comments and threats and things like that. So, with that being said, of course, no one should be surprised to find that The Verge and other prominent outlets are actually promoting him as a way to watch the riots on the ground.
Seriously?
Now we have this. Hasan Piker says, these guys claim to be liberals who hate Trump. And there's this post from r/Destiny. That's the subreddit for the Destiny leftist streamer or liberal. They said Hasan is participating in the LA riots, which were declared illegal by the federal government. Here's what you can do. They wrote, okay, so this loser is going outside and literally rioting, even though the police and government have made it clear it's illegal and everyone should stop. Well, most of the riots are masked and hiding their identities. Hasan is a known personality and easily identifiable. You can submit screenshots of him protesting against police orders to the FBI online here, or to the LA police here. It's finally time to get this terrorist arrested. Okay. Well, here's the post from r/Destiny. Keep yourself safe from misinformation. They show this post saying, Dan Saltman's minions, Ethan's bestie, are mass reporting Hasan to the FBI for the crime of protesting Trump's fascist government. These are the same people who pretended to be upset that Hasan didn't fully back the Democrats in the election, by the way. They're claiming this photo was fake. Just want to put out a little PSA about misinformation. They say we have users that actively use alts to get screenshots from other subs around the website. In this instance, someone last night posted this obvious bait, screenshotted it, and somehow it ended up pinned to another sub.
Oh, wow.
They didn't include much in the screenshot, so I went ahead and put together as a way to show just how quickly this misinformation can be spread. I hope that people who say things are clipped out of I'd hope that people who say things are clipped out of context would notice when something just a little too tight to show the full context. Blah, blah, blah. And they show, let me show
question
you.
Question is really like who posted that? I don't think it's liberal posted that.
Another deleted post. Hasan is participating in the LA riots, which are declared illegal. Post deleted. And the users apparently gone, claiming they feared getting doxxed. Now, I don't know much about all this leftist infighting between like Hasan and Ethan and all that, which is weird and silly. Whatever. What I can say is the big picture and why this matters. This is the future of media. Hasan supports their cause. He's not a journalist. He's not going to tell you the truth about what's going on. His footage is still invaluable in that he captures a lot of what's happening. And by piecing together all of this from every different angle, we might actually get a better understanding of what really happened. So it is to an extent good. But in the future, we are going to have tons of prominent personalities doing things like this for social media to get attention.
Yeah.
Because we are moving away from a service sector economy. As soon, robots will take it all over. White-collar jobs will be gone. We are already entering the attention economy, where if we can hold attention of people, we make money. What comes next? We got a lot more to talk about the riots, though, outside of Hasan Piker and the liberals.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about the riots and all of that thing. I mean, I'm just hoping that those people that are attacking the federal agents and causing the chaos will be held accountable. Those people are claiming that they're from the community that LA. I can guarantee you they're not from there. I can guarantee you. I bet you my whatever. I'm not a betting man, but I'm saying that those people are either went there, flown in there, paid for it. Someone paid for them to be there. So that's it, folks.